The Lotus-Eaters is one of the best-known poems of Alfred Lord Tennyson. Tennyson was born in 1809 and died in 1892. He was one of the major poets of the Victorian age and served as Poet Laureate of Britain from 1850 until his death. His poetry is admired for its musical language, rich imagery, and thoughtful exploration of human emotions and experiences. The Lotus-Eaters was first published in 1832 in Tennyson's early volume of poems. He later revised it extensively and republished it in 1842. The revised version of 1842 is the version that is generally studied today. The poem is based on a brief episode in the Odyssey, the ancient Greek epic traditionally attributed to Homer. In Homer's narrative, Odysseus and his companions arrive at the land of the Lotus-Eaters during their long journey home after the Trojan War. Some of the sailors eat the lotus fruit and lose their desire to continue the voyage. Tennyson takes this short incident and develops it into a long and reflective poem. He explores questions about work, suffering, rest, and human responsibility. The poem examines a feeling that many people experience at different times in their lives. After periods of hardship, people may long for relief, peace, and freedom from constant demands. At the same time, the poem does not simply praise escape from responsibility. It also raises difficult questions. Why does human life involve so much labor? Why do people become weary? Is complete withdrawal from duty desirable? By asking these questions, The Lotus-Eaters becomes both a beautiful poem and a thoughtful meditation on human existence. Mythological background. To understand the Lotus-Eaters, students should know something about the story of Odysseus. In Greek mythology, Odysseus was the king of Ithaca and one of the Greek leaders during the Trojan War. According to Greek legend, the war lasted for 10 years. After the war ended, Odysseus and his companions began their voyage home. Their return journey proved extremely difficult. Instead of reaching Ithaca quickly, they wandered for another 10 years. They encountered storms, monsters, magical beings, and many dangerous situations. These adventures form the subject of Homer's Odyssey. One of these adventures took place in the land of the Lotus-Eaters. According to Homer, strong winds carried Odysseus and his men to an unknown island. The inhabitants of this island were called the Lotus-Eaters because they lived by eating the fruit of the lotus plant. Odysseus sent some of his men to investigate the island. The inhabitants welcomed them and gave them lotus fruit to eat. After eating the fruit, the sailors no longer wished to return home. They wanted to remain on the island and live peacefully among the Lotus-Eaters. The poem does not describe the sailors as becoming mad or violent. Rather, they lose their desire to continue their journey. The lotus causes forgetfulness and indifference toward their previous aims. In Homer's account, this episode is very brief. Odysseus immediately forced his men back to the ships and sailed away before more sailors could eat the lotus. Tennyson transforms this short incident into a major philosophical poem. He imagines what the sailors might think after eating the lotus. He explores their weariness and their desire to escape from suffering and responsibility. The lotus therefore becomes an important symbol in the poem. It may be understood as a symbol of forgetfulness, rest, and escape from difficult duties. Through this symbol, Tennyson explores a universal aspect of human experience. Many people occasionally wish to escape pressure and enjoy complete peace. Historical and literary context. Tennyson lived during the Victorian age. This period was marked by industrial growth, scientific developments, and major social changes. Britain became increasingly powerful and modern during this time. Many Victorian writers and social thinkers valued hard work, discipline, duty, and progress. These ideas became important features of Victorian culture. People were often encouraged to work diligently and fulfill their responsibilities. However, the period was also marked by anxiety and uncertainty. Industrial and social changes created new pressures. Many people experienced feelings of stress and exhaustion. The Lotus-Eaters reflects some of these concerns. The poem explores the desire to escape from continuous labor and struggle. The poem also shows the influence of Romanticism. Romantic writers often emphasized imagination, emotion, individual experience, and the beauty and spiritual power of nature. They frequently portrayed nature as a source of comfort and inspiration. The dreamlike landscape in the Lotus-Eaters shows this romantic influence. Yet the poem's questions about work, duty, and exhaustion connect it strongly to Victorian concerns. In this way, the poem combines romantic imagination with Victorian thought. Detailed summary of the poem. The poem opens with Odysseus encouraging his companions. "Courage," he said and pointed toward the land. The sailors approach an unknown island. The landscape immediately appears unusual. The air seems calm and sleepy. Streams move gently through valleys. The mountains rise silently into the sky. Everything appears peaceful and still. The descriptions create the impression that the island exists outside ordinary time. Nothing seems hurried. Nothing appears disturbed. The sailors meet the inhabitants of the island and eat the lotus fruit. After eating the lotus, their state of mind changes. Their desire to continue the voyage gradually disappears. They become calm and detached from their former concerns. The second and larger part of the poem is called the Choric Song. The title refers to the chorus in ancient Greek drama. In Greek plays, the chorus commented on events and expressed collective feelings. Similarly, Tennyson gives the sailors a collective voice through which they express their shared thoughts. The sailors describe the island as a place in which it seemed always afternoon. The image of perpetual afternoon suggests calmness and freedom from urgency. It creates the impression of a world where struggle and activity have almost ceased. The sailors then begin to reflect on human life. They observe that many things in nature eventually come to rest. Clouds drift quietly. Leaves fall from trees. Flowers bloom and fade. Even natural processes seem gentle and unhurried. The sailors wonder why human beings alone appear destined for endless labor. They ask the famous question, why should life all labor be? This question lies at the center of the poem. The sailors feel that human life consists of continuous effort and repeated suffering. They compare themselves to waves that rise and fall endlessly. They also think about their homes and families. However, these memories no longer inspire them to continue the journey. They believe that their loved ones may have changed during their long absence. Gradually, the sailors reject the heroic values that once guided them. They no longer wish to continue their difficult mission. Instead, they wish to remain on the island. They describe the beauty of the place. There is sweet music here that softer falls than petals from blown roses on the grass. The island appears to offer peace, beauty, and relief from suffering. By the end of the Choric Song, the sailors argue that they should remain on the island and abandon their voyage. Major themes. Weariness and exhaustion form the central theme of the poem. The sailors have endured many hardships. They have fought in a long war and have wandered for years. Their exhaustion is physical, emotional, and mental. They no longer possess the desire to continue struggling. Many readers sympathize with the sailors because fatigue and discouragement are common human experiences. Tennyson explores these feelings with understanding and seriousness. Another major theme is escape from reality. The lotus may be understood as a symbol of escape. After eating it, the sailors no longer wish to continue their difficult journey. They prefer peace and forgetfulness to struggle and responsibility. The poem explores why escape can appear attractive. The island offers calmness and freedom from pain. However, the poem also shows that such peace may require the abandonment of duties and commitments. The conflict between rest and duty is equally important. Odysseus can be seen as representing perseverance and determination. The sailors increasingly desire rest and withdrawal. The poem therefore presents a conflict between action and inactivity. The poem does not provide a simple solution. Instead, it invites readers to think carefully about the relationship between work and rest. Nature also plays a significant role. The island is described through images of streams, valleys, flowers, and soft light. The natural landscape creates an atmosphere of peace and stillness. For the sailors, this environment appears to offer an escape from suffering. The beauty of the island strengthens their desire to remain there. The poem also explores the universal desire for peace. Many people experience moments of stress, weariness, or disappointment. During such times, rest and escape can seem deeply attractive. For this reason, readers from different cultures and historical periods often respond strongly to the poem. Finally, the poem reflects on human existence itself. The sailors ask why life involves so much labor. They wonder why human beings struggle continuously while many processes in nature seem peaceful and cyclical. The poem does not answer these questions directly. Instead, it encourages reflection on the meaning of work, suffering, and human responsibility. Literary devices and poetic techniques. Tennyson's use of imagery is one of the poem's greatest strengths. Imagery refers to language that appeals to the senses. The descriptions of streams, mountains, valleys, and flowers allow readers to imagine the island vividly. These images create the poem's dreamlike atmosphere. The poem also employs symbolism. The lotus may be interpreted as a symbol of forgetfulness, rest, and escape. The island itself may be understood as a place that seems free from pressure and responsibility. Tennyson uses similes to make his descriptions more vivid. One famous example compares a descending stream to a downward smoke. The comparison creates an impression of slow and gentle movement. The poem also uses personification. At several points, the landscape appears almost sleepy and alive. This technique strengthens the sense that the island belongs to a world of dreams and stillness. Repetition is another important feature. Words and ideas associated with sleep, rest, and calmness occur repeatedly throughout the poem. This repetition reinforces the central themes and contributes to the hypnotic atmosphere. Alliteration also contributes to the poem's musical quality. The repetition of consonant sounds creates softness and harmony. Perhaps most importantly, the rhythm of the poem moves slowly and smoothly. The movement of the lines often resembles the calm and dreamy world that the sailors experience. The poem's language, therefore, does not merely describe peace. It also allows readers to feel it. Critical interpretation. Critics have interpreted the Lotus-Eaters in different ways. Some readers view the sailors sympathetically. They believe that the poem recognizes the limits of human endurance and the genuine need for rest. Other readers see the sailors as irresponsible because they are prepared to abandon their duties entirely. Some critics interpret the poem as a reflection on modern life. Human beings often experience stress, fatigue, and pressure. The sailors' feelings therefore seem familiar even to modern readers. Others view the island symbolically and see it as representing any form of escape that encourages people to withdraw from their responsibilities. The poem remains powerful partly because it allows these different interpretations. Readers may understand the sailors' longing for peace while also questioning the wisdom of their choice. Conclusion. The Lotus-Eaters is much more than a retelling of a Greek myth. Through the story of exhausted sailors, Tennyson explores fundamental questions about work, suffering, rest, and human responsibility. The poem combines beautiful language, rich imagery, and thoughtful reflection. Its central conflict between duty and the desire for peace remains meaningful in every age. Most readers understand the temptation to escape from pressure and find complete rest. At the same time, the poem invites readers to think critically about the consequences of abandoning responsibilities altogether. For undergraduate students encountering the poem for the first time, the Lotus-Eaters offers both literary beauty and intellectual depth. Its enduring appeal lies in its ability to transform an ancient myth into a profound exploration of human experience.